Howdy, thanks for clicking. With all the doom and gloom in the media these past few months about housing shortages and mortgage rates, I'm going to have a closer look at this market report to see if those media headlines actually match what April's real estate numbers are showing us. I'll be giving details of what actually sold and sale prices towards the end of this video. Earlier this month, the federal budget was released and there were lots of arms raised on the parts that affected housing, which is ironic because housing is not a federal responsibility. First off was the increase to capital gains tax. First objections were from doctors and businesses saying doctors would be deterred from working here and businesses would not want to invest here. Further explanations should be added to your income and taxed. The federal budget also saw the federal government waiving the HST normally incurred on construction of multi-unit buildings. Following suit, the Nova Scotia government waived their tax as well. The federal government also are offering loans to the municipalities to create infrastructure that would support housing growth in their areas. According to industry members, from realtors to house inspectors, the Nova Scotia real estate market has been experiencing a slowdown this first quarter of 2024. Media reports are blaming the mortgage rates and everyone is analyzing and speculating when will the rates be coming down. I'll give you my thoughts in a little bit. Now there are positive signs on the horizon. One encouraging development is the decrease in permit processing times for residential construction in the HRM, which has dropped down to 12 days. However, there is a need for further reductions in permit fees in order to pass on those savings to home buyers. This is according to Duncan Williams, CEO of the Construction Association of Nova Scotia. He says higher interest rates, labor shortages, and supply chain issues are some of the biggest challenges holding the industry back, but he says those are easing. Some levels of government, such as Halifax Regional Municipality, are offering fee waivers for non-profit institutions. Local municipalities are witnessing a surge in applications for rezoning and higher density development, signaling a push for increased housing supply. If these applications go through without pushback during the public consultation stage, then this is a positive change in overcoming the not in my backyard mentality. With the Bank of Canada releasing their productivity report in March, it may have been a wake-up call for all levels of government. The sting of this truth seemed to hit home with productivity becoming the newest buzzword laced throughout the budget. This Bank of Canada report emphasized the need to encourage private enterprise, reduce red tape, match skills to jobs, especially for new Canadians, and provide the proper tools for workforce productivity. Despite these challenges, the Nova Scotia economic numbers are moving in the right direction. Housing starts are up and inflation is on a slow decline. And StatsCan numbers show job and wage growth, especially in the healthcare and education sectors. In spite of negative buyer sentiment, even the Nova Scotia real estate market numbers are going against the grain, with sold prices still on the rise year over year and month over month in most regions. Areas with the least inventory and the largest number of sales are the most populated and job-rich regions, such as Halifax Regional Municipality and the Annapolis Valley. Now, let's get into the actual numbers. Here we are in the dashboard of showing time market stats for our region of Nova Scotia. Looking right here at new listing, and this is over the past 3 years, but these numbers right here show the new listings that we had come on system in April, and we're at 1508 for the entire province of Nova Scotia, and that's up 23% from this time last year. As you can see, they take it year over year is where they take the percentage from, but as you can see, we're on a sharp incline upward for the number of listings month over month. So next I'm going to show you the total homes on the market. So we're basically saying, yes, we did have a number of sales, but this is what we ended up with at the end of April. So currently we're sitting at 2654 for the entire province. Of course, we have the most in Halifax Dartmouth region, and that's 16% above what we had this time last year for listings. So that shows we're going into a more balanced market with more and more inventory, since we're up from last month and up from this time last year. Here are the top 4 places in Nova Scotia where you can get a place under $250. So that would be our peak, was the number of inventory back in the fall. That's when it starts to slow down. And for the other areas, they were all up month over month and year over year as far as total inventory. Next, I'm going to show you the total number of sales. So this is when you're looking at between, the new listings versus the total sales, and then what you got left over is the number of homes on the market. So when you look at the numbers coming in and the numbers going out, it kind of sets the idea as to whether you're in a seller's market or a buyer's market. So the number of sales we had is on the rise month over month. We're heading up to 917 sales for the month of April, and that is up 10% from this time last year. So shore areas, they're up 22%, 23% from this time last year. And the Annapolis Valley had 138 sales, and that's up from, from 119 from this time last year. So we are getting up there, but again, you can see the peak was April of 2021, where we had the most sales, 265,000. That's when it was a crazy, crazy market. Yes, this is when the prices were also cheaper. And then you notice we still had the demand, but the prices were increasing the second and third year of COVID. But we are on the uptick for total sales. So we're coming into the busy season. It doesn't really feel like it. It was pretty low here at the beginning of the year, but we're on a gradual incline. So if you're in the luxury market, we actually have 257 properties listed over $1 million in Nova Scotia. And as you can see, the busiest area for luxury properties listed over $1 million is the Halifax Dartmouth area. From there, you have the South Shore due to their oceanfront, Atlantic oceanfront down that way. And next you have Annapolis Valley as your prime areas to find that luxury property. Days on market also show how busy the market is getting. As you can see, the days on market is declining, which means it's taking less and less time to sell. So that shows the market's heating up. Now, I like to look at the median home sales, which of course is the middle of the pack, because sometimes you'll have some properties that are on the market for a long, long, long time. That's going to skew your average. So look at the difference here, 35. So if you're looking, it really makes a difference whether you're looking at the average or the median. Either way, they're on the, well, it's taking more days to sell if you're looking at the average, whereas if the median is it's on a downward slide for less days to sell. So those are a couple different ways. It really makes a difference as to what you're looking at as far as parameters. Now, month supply. We are increasing with month supply. Again, month over month, we're increasing, which is good. For Nova Scotia as a whole, we're at 3.4, which is, a lot considering where we've been at. Like way down here, beginning of COVID, look at that. There's like 0.8 months worth of supply. That's incredible. But we are, as you can see the graph going up, we are steadily increasing our months worth of supply. And looking at some of the further regions, Cape Breton, that way, like in the Highland region, you're at 9 months, almost 10 months worth of inventory. So that is well into a buyer's market. Next, after that is 4.7 in the Yarmouth region. And then you got the South Shore at 5.6 and 4.9 from the Annapolis Valley. So those are pretty much balanced markets right there, but we're still sitting and seeing a seller's market definitely in the Halifax region. So I'm just going to skip right ahead. I know everybody's waiting to hear the sale prices and where they're at. So here we go. So these are the median home sale prices for the month of April. For the entire MLS for Nova Scotia, the prices came in at $451,000. Now again, that's median price. That's halfway in the middle of the pack of everything sold. So 9.1% ahead of last year, which would be right around here. So there we're at for last year, and we're on an upward trajectory there. But again, this was the peak of home prices. It was back in April 2022. So, but we're getting up there. Look at that, 451 versus 435. So we're ahead of 2 years ago, which was so-called the peak of COVID. Now, even if you're looking at the Halifax home prices, 565. And again, 563. So pretty much on par with the peak back in April 2022. The Annapolis Valley, they're sitting at 373,000, which is up month over month, and from this time last year, 6.7%. As I mentioned before, 6% year over year increase is pretty standard. But you're looking at the South Shore, it doesn't have the highest increase there. They only came up by 2.5% from last year and only 2,500 from last month. But the rest of the province, they're pretty much going to break some records again this year. As far as the rest of Nova Scotia, the northern region, they came in at 258,000. And that was up 3.2% from previous year, but that was actually down 12% from month over month. The Highland region, they were down 24% from this time last year. They were sitting at 222,000. Cape Breton, they were sitting at 217,000. Now this is actually up 10%, 10.6% from this time last year, and up 8% from last month. Yarmouth, they are at 214,100. That is down from this time last year, 24,000 or 10%. Month over month, Yarmouth is also down 11,000. So mixed bag there, but like I said before, the more populated, higher job employment rate areas such as the Annapolis Valley, Halifax, of course, are seeing the greatest numbers of increase in price and sales. The outer limits, such as the northern region, Yarmouth region, Cape Breton, you're seeing actual declines in home sales and in home sale prices. So here's a snapshot of some of Nova Scotia's more popular towns, everywhere from Shelburne right up to Sydney and everywhere in between. So they range again from 228,500 to 228,050 in Sydney. So in summary, I think we are entering a stage where people are rethinking their life and lifestyle. Yes, rates will be coming down in small increments, probably starting in July. But will that be enough to jumpstart the housing market and the local economy? I think people are realizing from the past several months of feeling the pinch as to what they can and can't live without. Maybe they don't need a 3,000 square foot home. And maybe they don't need to eat out a few times a week. Making a conscious effort to buy and support local. We need to put our brains together so we can live better, the East Coast way. This has been The Real Deal with Dawn.